You've heard the P1326 debate 100 times. You've heard the warnings online. Hyundai engines just blow up. It's a known defect. They'll never fix it. They installed a system specifically so they could deny your warranty claim. 3 completely different stories about the same 4-digit code. Last month, a Santa Fe Sport owner sat in my shop, white-knuckling his steering wheel, convinced his engine was about to seize on the highway because a comment thread told him so. I'm done watching good owners panic over a problem most of them don't actually understand. So today, I pulled Hyundai's own NTSA filings, the actual recall documents, the actual technical service bulletins, and I'm going to show you exactly what code P1326 means, why it exists, and what to do the moment you see it. Stay with me, because what Hyundai's own documents say is very different from what most of the internet is telling you. What the NTSA document actually says. The document at the center of all this isn't some leaked file pulled from a back office. It's sitting in plain sight in NTSA's Public Technical Service Bulletin database. And it covers a specific list of engines. Theta 2 2.4-liter units in certain Sonatas, Santa Fe's, and Santa Fe Sports, along with related new and Gamma GDI engines used across other Hyundai and Kia models. Hyundai calls the technology at the heart of it the Knock Sensor Detection System, or KSDS, and it's delivered as a software update to your engine control module. Here's exactly what it does, in Hyundai's own words from the filing. The system repurposes your engine's existing knock sensor, normally there to detect fuel knock, and runs it through new algorithms designed to listen for a very specific vibration pattern, the early signature of excessive connecting rod bearing wear. When that pattern is detected, 3 things happen all at once. The malfunction indicator lamp starts blinking continuously instead of staying steady. An audible chime sounds in the cabin. And the engine computer drops the car into what Hyundai calls engine protection mode, limiting RPM to about 1,800 to 2,000 and capping your top speed. At that exact moment, diagnostic code P1326 gets written into the ECU. That's not just some vague warning light, as I've seen many Hyundai owners think. That's the system telling you, in a documented and specific way, that it detected the exact vibration signature it was built to catch. This is what the document says the system does. Now here's the part that should actually matter to you sitting in the driver's seat. Why this problem exists in the first place, and whether it's something you caused. The root cause. This isn't a maintenance failure. I want to be direct about this, because a lot of owners blame themselves first. According to Hyundai's own recall filings, the root cause traces back to the manufacturing process at the Theta 2 engine plant, not to how you've driven or maintained your car. You see, microscopic metal debris was left behind inside the crankshaft oil passages during production on a defined range of engines built in a specific window of years. That debris circulates through the engine's oil system and slowly grinds away at the connecting rod bearings, the soft metal surfaces that let the crankshaft spin smoothly inside the engine. As those bearings wear, the clearance around them opens up. Oil pressure at that specific point starts to drop, even if your overall oil pressure gauge looks normal. That loss of localized pressure is exactly what produces the vibration pattern KSDS is designed to detect. If it's allowed to continue, the bearing surface degrades enough that metal starts contacting metal, and that's when you get the catastrophic outcome the recall documents are blunt about. Connecting rod failure. The rod itself potentially punching through the engine block, oil escaping onto hot engine surfaces, and in rare documented cases, fire. That's why the system forces you into a low RPM limp mode the instant it sees that pattern. It's not being dramatic, it's trying to keep that bearing from finishing the job before you can get the car to a dealer. So if it's not your fault, there's really nothing you can do about it, right? Well, wrong. There are ways you can protect your engine. This is the part most videos skip entirely, and it's the part that protects you whether your engine is on this list or not. How to actually protect your engine. First, and this takes like 5 minutes to do, go to nhtsa.gov and run your VIN. If your engine falls inside the affected production range, you are entitled to the inspection and remedy at no cost, regardless of whether you're the original owner. Do not wait for a letter that might be going to a previous owner's address. I've seen this happen a couple of times. People waiting for some official letter from Hyundai themselves, not even knowing that whatever letter the automaker sends goes out to the previous owner. Second, get the KSDS software update installed even if your car hasn't shown a single symptom. This is the step too many owners skip because the car feels fine. The whole point of this system is to catch a developing problem before you feel anything wrong. Hyundai's own documentation ties completion of this update to extended engine warranty coverage on these specific models. In some campaigns, out to 15 years or 150,000 miles for bearing-related concerns. Skipping the update doesn't just leave you unprotected from a vibration you can't feel yet. On some campaigns, it's a condition of keeping that extended coverage active at all. Third, if the light starts blinking and the chime sounds, stop driving normally immediately. Get the car to a dealer or have it towed rather than pushing through engine protection mode to finish your commute. The system limited your RPM for a reason. Fourth, and this is true whether your engine is on the recall list or not, oil changes on schedule with the correct viscosity matter more on these GDI engines than on almost anything else in Hyundai's lineup, because clean oil pressure is the one variable you actually control in a bearing's lifespan. None of this guarantees your bearings were never touched by manufacturing debris, but it gives the detection system and the dealer the best possible chance to catch it before it becomes the worst-case scenario in the filing. Do all four of these, and I'm sure you can get the best out of your engine regardless of the manufacturing debris. The lifetime warranty nobody tells you about. Here's something that gets buried under all the recall headlines. This issue didn't just produce a software update and a few scattered recalls. It produced one of the largest automotive class action settlements in U.S. history. Hyundai and Kia agreed to a combined $1.3 billion settlement covering roughly 2.21 million vehicles across the Theta 2 GDI, Theta 2, MPI, New GDI, and Gamma GDI engine families, spanning model years stretching from 2010 through 2021. A second, separate settlement extended similar relief to an additional 2.1 million vehicles that weren't covered the first time around. Final approval on that second settlement was entered in April 2024. Now, what does the settlement actually give you? If your vehicle falls inside the covered engine families, the agreement extends your powertrain warranties specifically for the short block, assembly, the engine block, crankshaft, connecting rods, and bearings, out to 15 years or 150,000 miles from the original delivery date, whichever comes first. That coverage isn't tied to the original owner, it follows the car. If you bought a 10-year-old Sonata used last month and it falls inside the covered range, you may already qualify for that lifetime-style coverage without having done a single thing yourself except own the car. The settlement also goes further than just future repairs. It includes reimbursement for past repair costs, towing, and rental cars if you already paid out of pocket for a bearing-related failure. It includes compensation for owners who traded in or sold a vehicle at a loss specifically because of this issue. And it includes goodwill compensation for customers who had a previous warranty claim denied or who experienced an unreasonably long repair timeline. There is even a formal arbitration process, run through BBB national programs, specifically for owners who believe Hyundai wrongly denied them coverage under this settlement. Most owners have no idea that path exists. Most owners never even open the notice. Now, here's the catch, because there's always a catch, and I want you to hear it directly instead of finding out the hard way. The extended warranty under this settlement carries one major exception, a provision the documents refer to as exceptional neglect. If your vehicle never received the KSDS software update when it was made available to you, or if there's documented evidence of severe, sustained neglect of basic maintenance, Hyundai can deny coverage under this clause. This is exactly why getting that free software update installed isn't optional busy work. It's frequently the specific condition standing between you and a 15-year, 150,000-mile engine warranty that costs you nothing. So, yeah, there's real money and real protection on the table for owners who know what to ask for. Now let's talk about why this exact code has become one of the most argued about 4 characters in the Hyundai owner community. Well, because the document tells one story, and a lot of comment sections are telling a totally different one. What influencers and online forums are actually saying. If you've spent any time researching P1326 online, you've probably noticed something interesting. Everybody seems to agree that Hyundai had a real engine problem. The disagreement starts when people try to explain what P1326 actually means. You'll find that there are 2 completely opposite reactions living side by side. Some voices online treat it like a death certificate for your engine. Others treat it like proof that Hyundai built a system to avoid replacing engines. And there are a few who'd argue that it's actually one of the most important safety systems Hyundai ever added to these vehicles. I personally fall under that bracket. So, moment of truth. Who's actually right? Let's start with one of the most watched engine teardown channels on YouTube, I Do Cars. If you've ever watched Eric tear apart a failed Theta 2 engine on a workbench, you understand immediately why Hyundai owners panic when they hear about rod bearing failures. Time after time, he opens engines showing damaged bearings, metal contamination, scored crankshafts, and catastrophic internal wear. In one teardown, he even joked that with a Theta 2 engine, we kind of know what happened before opening it up. And honestly, I understand why those videos leave such a strong impression. Hyundai has never argued that those failures aren't real. They are. The damage is real. The problem is that a teardown only shows the final chapter of the story. By the time that engine reaches his workbench, the failure has already happened. The audience is seeing the outcome, not the warning signs that came before it. Now compare that to creators like Speedcar99, who spend more time discussing Hyundai's recalls and the manufacturing defects that triggered them in the first place. Their focus is usually the same issue that appears in Hyundai's own filings: metal debris left behind during manufacturing that could interfere with oil flow and accelerate connecting rod bearing wear. Again, that's not misinformation. The recall documents themselves discuss manufacturing debris as a root cause. But after hearing enough stories about bearing failures, many viewers naturally arrive at a different conclusion. They start believing that every affected engine is simply counting down to failure. Not at some point, eventually. I can understand that reaction too. Because if every video you watch shows another failed Theta 2, another warranty replacement, another rod bearing issue, it's easy to assume the outcome is already predetermined. Then you have another group entirely, the technician channels. Independent diagnostic technicians often take a very different approach. Instead of talking about recalls or showing blown-up engines, they focus on diagnosis. Their argument is usually much simpler. A fault code is not a diagnosis, it's a starting point. And this is where I'm standing because P1326 has developed a reputation online that goes far beyond what the actual bulletin says. Many owners now refer to it as the code of death. You can find that exact phrase repeated across forums, Facebook groups, Reddit discussions, and YouTube comment sections. For many owners, the moment they see a blinking check engine light and P1326 appear on a scan tool, they assume the engine replacement process has already begun. But if you actually look at Hyundai's service procedure, that's not what the bulletin says at all. The bulletin treats P1326 as a trigger for further investigation, not as a final verdict. And that brings us to the fourth group in this debate. Yep, there's a fourth. The owners themselves. You didn't think you were left out, did you? Spend 10 minutes reading Hyundai owner forums, and you'll find 2 completely opposite opinions living side by side. One owner will tell you P1326 appeared. The dealer performed the bearing clearance test, and Hyundai approved a replacement engine. The very next owner will tell you P1326 appeared. The bearing clearance test passed, the code was cleared, and they drove away without an engine replacement. That's one of the reasons the controversy never dies. People are having completely different outcomes from what appears to be the exact same warning code. To some owners, that feels like proof the system works. To others, it feels like proof the system can't be trusted. And then there's the accusation that shows up everywhere online, the word scam. If you've spent enough time in Hyundai communities, you've definitely seen it. Some owners believe KSDS wasn't designed to protect engines at all. They believe it was created to give Hyundai another layer of verification before approving expensive warranty repairs. I understand why that belief exists. Imagine you're sitting in a dealership waiting room. Your vehicle goes into limp mode. The warning light is flashing. P1326 is stored. The internet has already convinced you the engine is finished. Then the dealership tells you they're not replacing the engine yet. Instead, they need to perform another test. To many owners, that feels like the company searching for a reason to say no. But now let's compare all of those viewpoints to what Hyundai actually documented, because this is where the conversation changes. The service bulletin doesn't describe P1326 as an automatic engine failure. It doesn't describe it as an automatic engine replacement. And it doesn't describe KSDS as a warranty denial tool. Truth is, Hyundai's own procedure requires a bearing clearance test. That's the step most internet discussions skip entirely, because it doesn't fit neatly into either extreme. The teardown channels are correct, that severe bearing failures happen. The recall-focused creators are correct, that manufacturing defects contributed to those failures. The owners are correct, that Hyundai requires verification before approving one of the most expensive repairs possible. But the service bulletin itself lands somewhere in the middle. Not every P1326 vehicle gets a new engine. Not every P1326 vehicle avoids one. The code triggers a process, and that distinction should change everything. Because the document doesn't treat P1326 as a death sentence. It treats it as an early warning event, a warning that excessive bearing wear may be developing and that further testing is required. Bottom line, this warning gives us, the technicians, a chance to intervene before the catastrophic failures you've seen in teardown videos become reality. And that's probably the biggest misunderstanding surrounding this entire issue. So, yeah, P1326 is not a rumor and it's not a scam. It's a documented response to a documented manufacturing defect, covering a specific list of Theta 2, Nu, and Gamma engines built in a specific window. It's out there, yes, but it's not a death sentence for your engine. As much as this is a manufacturing failure, you're still in charge. So tonight, take 5 minutes, run your VIN, check whether your vehicle is covered. Make sure the KSDS update has been completed. Because the difference between a warning and a catastrophe is often nothing more than catching a problem early enough to do something about it. And maybe that's the real lesson hidden inside all of this. P1326 was never Hyundai's mistake. The bearing failure was. P1326 is simply the warning that gives you a chance to avoid paying for it. Hope that clears it all up. Enjoy your Hyundais. I'll see you in the next one.